Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining today. We wanted to seek the blessings of Radha Mata, Radha Shamsani, Krishna Balarama, Bhagopal, Gaurita, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees, so that we can continue with sharing some of the wonderful teachings given by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So we're in the 17th chapter, which is entitled The Divisions of Faith. Summary of this chapter. In the previous chapter, Krishna described two extremes, the divine and the demoniac. And the day-to-day experience, however, reveals that we actually have many faces. Sometimes we're good, sometimes we're not so good. And not necessarily one or the other. So nobody's all bad and nobody's all good. We all have a little bit of both. Life is generally not black or white, but usually different shades of gray. The faces that we present on a daily basis reveal something about our faith, things we trust and believe and place value upon. So how we behave on a daily basis, when nobody is looking, that is the test, really. What are we doing when nobody is looking? Because we're free at that time to do whatever we want. So what is our attitude? What is our behavior at that time? That will show our true nature. Okay. Chapter 17 describes how a person's affiliation to a particular mode will determine the type of faith they have. So if we are primarily in the mode of goodness, then we will show a certain behavioral pattern. Similarly, if we are in the mode of ignorance, we'll show a different type of behavioral pattern. Throughout this chapter 17, Krishna discusses all his themes with reference to the modes of nature. Now, we've looked at this a little bit when we were doing the 14th chapter and the survey, when we did the survey of what are we alike. We looked at some of these points, and now Krishna is going to go through those. Following, so the themes of this chapter. Following scriptures allows us to transcend the three modes of material nature. This is the point. These three modes of nature have caught us, Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun, and it's hard to get away from those three modes. But scriptures will allow us, following the scriptures will allow us to overcome the three modes. The foods that are categorized in the three modes of material nature. So that is what is described. The different types of austerities and types of charities, and the significance of Om Tat Sat. So this chapter has got quite a few themes. Huh? So let's start with Riyansh.
Chapter 17, the divisions of faith. Text 1, Arjuna inquired, O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principles of scripture but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance? The Supreme Personality of God said, according to the modes of nature required by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of three kinds, in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance. Now you hear about this. Text 3, O son of Bharata, according to one's existence under the various modes of nature, one evolves a particular kind of faith. The living being is said to be a particular faith according to the modes he has acquired. Text 4, men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods, those in the mode of passion worship demons, and those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. Text 5 to 6, those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the scripture, performing them performing them out
of pride and egoism.
yes, performing them out of pride and egoism, who are impelled by lust and attachment, who are foolish and who torture the material elements of the body as well as the super soul dwelling within, are to be known as demons. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So those first 6 verses. People, religious people are often referred to as people of faith. They have some faith in something beyond themselves. But actually the reality is that everybody has faith, right? We all put faith in traffic lights. So when the red comes, we stop. When the green is there, we continue. We have the faith that the green light means it's safe for us to go, to drive. So we have that faith. So everybody has some faith. We have faith in the doctors that the medicine that they give will cure us from our problem, ailments. So we have faith that we put the money in the bank account, in the bank, and the money will be there for us to use whenever we want. Right? We can't live without faith. You have to have faith in something or other. Right? Without faith, we cannot function in this world. To have faith means to see opportunity, reward, and value in something, even though it may not be immediately experienced. Yeah, we put the money in the bank. We know it's going to be there, but we don't, we're not using it straight. We're putting it there for a purpose. So similarly, we have to have faith that there is a supreme being who's in charge of everything, even though we may not be able to see that or experience the benefits of that immediately. According to one's faith, one identifies objects of adoration and reverence and begins to worship them in different ways. So we have faith in the Lord, we'll worship him. If we have faith in the Devatas, we'll worship. If we have faith in the sports stars and the film movie stars, and we'll put a picture of them on our wall and be thinking about them. Right? So faith is important. It's a 67 lesson. One should try to follow the scriptures. If one does not follow the Gita, one will follow one's own natural instincts, which will be in goodness, passion, or ignorance. Might be in tamogun, rajagun, satogun, but they're just our natural instincts. But if we follow the Gita, then we're following in Shuddha Sattvagun, pure goodness. Those who know the rules and regulations of scripture, but out of laziness or indolence, give up following these rules, are governed by the modes. So we must try to follow the scriptures. That's the easiest way to conquer the 3 modes of material, to conquer this world. Okay, let's carry on. Sitaram, how's your internet? Would you like to chant?
It's okay, Prabhu, Hari Bol.
Go for it. Very good.
Text 7. Even the food each person prefers is of 3 kinds, according to the 3 modes of material nature. The same is true of sacrifices, austerities, and charity. Now here was the distinction between them. Text 8. Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increases the duration of life. Purity one's existence and gives strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such food are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. Text 9. Foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such foods cause this, I don't know, one thing.
foods.
Just by the too sour, salty,
Distress.
dry, burning, or dear to those in the mood of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and diseases. Number 10, food prepared more than 3 hours. Therefore, be eaten food that is tasteless, decomposed, and putrid. And food consisting of remnant and untouchable things is dear to those in the mood of darkness. 11. Of sacrifices, the sacrifice performed according to the direction of the scriptures as a matter of duty by those who desire to know reward is of the nature of goodness. 12. But sacrifice performed for some material benefit or for the sake of pride, O chief of Bharatas, you should know to be in the mode of passion. 13. Any sacrifice performed without regard for the direction of scriptures, without distributing of prasadam, spiritual food, without chanting of Vedic hymns and remuneration to the priest, and without faith, is considered to be in the mode of ignorance.
Thank you. Very good.
Very well.
Right. So, summary is very interesting. Food can be of 3 types. So, ignorance. This is where the food is old, right? Pretty old. Because nowadays we have the fridge, so we stick things in the fridge, so it lasts a little longer. But any food more than 3 hours long really becomes stale. Unless, of course, it's prasad. Prasad is always prasad. But food that is tasteless, putrid, decomposed, and it consists of remnants of others and untouchable things like meat, fish, and eggs, are considered to be food in the mode of ignorance. Have to avoid. Food in the mode of passion, too sour, too salty, too hot, too pungent, too dry, too burning. When you eat it, you get a lot of burning sensation. Too bitter. Now those foods will cause distress, misery, and disease. And they include onion and garlic. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, all this. What is pungent, please?
Pungent is pungent.
Is it tasteless?
No. It's tasty, but let me just look it up.
Or is it
Krishna
got...
it is something to a bit burn.
No, has it got mood on it? Mold?
No, not necessarily. It's too strong. It smells too strong, tastes too
Just
more, shall I say more spicy? Yeah.
too spicy.
Oh, more spicy. Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, too strong. Yeah. Thank you for asking. So the foods in the mode of passion, they cause distress, misery, and disease. And this also includes onion and garlic. I know our Indian diet, a lot of people use onion and garlic, but actually onion and garlic was never included in the meals. Onion and garlic is something that if one wants to, why is it in the mode of passion? Because onion and garlic, they instill passionate thoughts within our minds. And we already have enough passion within us. So best to avoid those foods. And if you're thinking, oh, my food will not be tasty anymore. No, because we can add hing. Hing helps. Ginger helps. These are wonderful foods in the mode of goodness that will, improve the taste of the food, the preparations. We shouldn't think that we can't eat without onion and garlic. It might take a little while to stop eating those foods. That's fine. Just take your time. Finish those foods. food in a mode of goodness increases duration of life, purifies one's existence, gives strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Juicy, fatty, good fat, of course. Milk would be included in that. Ghee will be included. Wholesome, pleasing to the heart. And these foods are those which is grain, fresh grains, organic vegetables, fruits, nuts, so many different types of food.
Prabhu, I wanted to ask about ghee. Are we talking of cow ghee? Yeah, because
very good.
Good for us.
Very good for you. I mean, in this country, because it's a little cold, we have to be a little careful of the ghee.
Yes.
But in hot countries, in Bharat, for example, ghee is actually a must, because what ghee does, it gives the stomach the strength to digest the foods. It gives that lubricants, to the joints.
Okay. Cow ghee, yeah.
Cow ghee, and preferably organic. Where
yes, Patanjali.
Patanjali is good, very good.
Patanjali.
Yeah, it's very good.
But it's okay for if you have high cholesterol, it's all right.
I think in this country we have to be a little careful because of the cold nature of the country. But in Bharat, it's fine. It's fine because of the heat. The heat will just, when you see it, when the ghee is cold, you have to warm it up in order to make the ghee with. But when the weather is warm, the ghee is automatically
oily. Yeah,
it's smooth. It's liquidy. So I think here we have to be a little careful. You don't want this having in cold water weather going out, and then the ghee sort of becomes a little hard within our body. So that's where you have to be careful.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes.
Good question. Good question. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, any questions on this? This is quite a topical point, food-wise. So what is a lesson? We should cook fresh, organic foods, avoid onion, garlic, and mushrooms. Mushrooms is why? Because mushrooms they grow in darkness. And also they're poisonous. Many are poisonous versions of mushrooms. But because they grow in darkness, we try to avoid those foods which grow in darkness. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh yes, Shyam Malini, go for it. You can read.
Yes, Prabhu. Vikash. Yeah. Text 14, austerity of the body consists in worship of the Supreme Lord. 1 second, sorry, where is it? The Brahmanas, the spiritual master and superiors like the father and mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. Text 15, austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. Text 16, in and satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind. Text 17, this freehold austerity performed with transcendental faith by men not expecting material benefits, but engage only for the sake of the Supreme is called austerity in goodness. Text 18, penance performed out of pride for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is said to be in the mood of passion. It is neither stable nor permanent. Text 19, penance performed out of foolishness, with self-torture or to destroy or injure others, is said to be in the mode of ignorance.
Thank you so much. Very good.
That's superb.
In order to achieve anything in this world, we must undergo some austerity, right? If one wants to become a professional, an accountant or a doctor, you have to go through some austerity in order to become qualified in those professions. We sacrifice immediate pleasure and comfort for the purpose of long-term benefit. We place faith in different things. We perform different austerities in life. So Krishna explains, beneficial austerities pertaining to the body, mind, and words, and also the varying motivations with which one may perform them. So Krishna says, when we do penance, for example, out of pride, it's in the mode of passion. When we do it out of foolishness, with self-torture in mind, then it's ignorance. So we want to try to do that austerity, which is appropriate for Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, the best fast, the best austerity is observing Ekadashi. Now, Ekadashi can be observed in many ways. Ekadashi is Agyaras in Gujarati. And Ekadashi you can do by fasting from eating grains and beans. The main purpose of Ekadashi is to remember Krishna, to remember God. So that is the main aim. Fasting is important, and because the less time we spend on our bodily needs, the more time we can spend on God. So many devotees fast completely. They don't drink any water, they don't eat anything on this day. But that don't have to be so austere. Can be still have something like water, milk, fruits, Ferrari, sabji, etc. Nuts, so many different things one can eat on Ekadasi. So this is our austerity in this age of Kali. We don't do any other austerity. No, don't want to really, because our bodies are not so strong, and our minds are definitely not strong enough to handle heavy austerity. Okay, Prabhapen, would you like to read?
Chilly now. Yes, text 20.
Yes.
Charity given out of the duty without expectation of return at the proper time and the place, and to the worthy person. Is that right?
Worthy person. Yeah.
Yeah, worthy person, and consider to be in the mode of goodness. Text 21. But charity performed with the expectations of some return, or with a desire for fruitive results, or in the grudging mood is said to be charity in the mode of patient. Text 22. A charity performed at an impure place at any improper time to unworthy person or without proper attentions and respect is said to be in the mode of ignorance.
Very good. So this is really interesting. The innate quality of the soul is to serve. And thus we find a natural charitable disposition within everyone, to a greater or less extent. So when we see somebody hungry, we immediately feel some pain in our heart and we want to do something about it, right? I think most people will have that feeling. When we see somebody hungry, we want to help. According to one's own faith, they make efforts to help others. Krishna discusses the different types of charity and explains that to truly benefit people, charity must be performed within certain parameters. So, what are these parameters? Well, Krishna describes them. If we give out of duty without expectation of return, at the right time, at the right place to a worthy person, that's very, very good. Very good. So when we go to the temple, we give the dakshina or we give some donation. Very good. As long as we don't want something back in return. If we want something back in return, or we give it in a grudging mood, oh, why is this person asking? Here, take it. That's mode of passion. If we give it to the wrong person at the wrong time, a drunkard is standing in front of the off license and he's begging for money and you give him £1. What is he going to do with the £1? He's going to go into the liquor shop and get some more drink. So what have we done? We have given that person Lakshmi, which is belonging to Narayan, in order to increase his sinful activities. So we become responsible. That is in the mode of ignorance. So never do that. Never give charity like that. But what we can do, no one likes to see someone hungry, so we can donate prashad. Offer fruits on the street, for example. So often when we go to Croydon, there's a very nice fruit market. We always go there and we get some extra fruits. And if we see somebody who is wanting, is hungry, we give them fruit after offering it to the Lord. My dear Lord, please accept this offering. Please benefit whoever takes this prashad with your mercy. So in that way, we are giving prashad. We're not giving ordinary food, we're giving spiritual food. Giving ordinary food will be good. It's good in the mode of goodness, but we will have to come back to enjoy the karma from that act. So why? Why do you want to do that? Yes, Prabhupada.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I think I learned something new today from you.
Okay, good.
You just mentioned this, that if there is a hungry person sitting somewhere and you want to give him a fruit, but you take the fruit in your hand and you say to the Lord, this is a prasad I offer you, and now I'm giving to this person, which is going to be prasad, and it will fulfill his, I mean, not the life, but the stomach, you know, and give him from him inside, he will feel much better when he will think, not he will think, we are thinking we have given him a prasad, but not the normal fruit.
Yes,
which is very good. I should start doing this now, because I do give fruit to people sitting in the street, but I never say the word you said now. So you donate the food first to the God and then give it to the people.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
No,
it's
thank
nice.
You.
Yeah, you see, I've learned something new today.
Yeah, no, thank you. You have that mood. Your mood is like that. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very good mood. Thank you.
Yeah.
So much.
Thank you.
So just to clarify again, because it's so important, right? We all like to give. So when it's done as a matter of duty at the right time, right place, to the right person, that is perfect. And examples are giving it to a qualified Brahmin or a Vaishnava. So that is perfect. We should try to do that. That is the best. Whereas even in the mode of passion where we want something back in return, it's not a good practice to give. So best, our Guru Maharaj used to say that if the right hand gives, The left hand doesn't even know that the right hand is given. So that is the amount of secrecy that we can expect to keep when we're giving. And of course, charity in the mode of ignorance is not a good thing to do. It makes us actually go down in our spiritual life, in our material life as well. So these are the last few verses. From the beginning of creation, the three words Om Tat Sat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These three symbolic representations were used by Brahmins while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Supreme. Therefore, transcendentalists undertaking performances of sacrifice, charity, and penance in accordance with scriptural regulations begin always with Om to attain the Supreme. Om is such an amazing, amazing word. It's such a beautiful word, beautiful vibration. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the word Tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from material entanglement. The absolute truth is the objective of devotional sacrifice, and it is indicated by the word Sat. The performer of such sacrifice is also called Sat, as are all works of sacrifice, penance, and charity, which, true to the absolute nature, are performed to please the Supreme Person, O Son of Brahma. Anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in the Supreme, O Son of Brahma, is impermanent. It is called asat and is useless, both in this life and in the next. That's the end of chapter 17, Shraddha Tarya Vibha Yoga. In the summary of this, it is essential, these last few verses, it is essential to understand that all activities, even those performed in goodness, will always yield karmic reactions to the performer, and thus bind him to repeated existence in this world. Is there a way out? Well, there is. In the Vedic hymns, God is defined as the supreme enjoyer by the words, three words, Om Tat Sat. Thus, if our sacrifices, penance, and austerities are dedicated to the Supreme, done for his pleasure and favor, then such activities yield permanent benefit and ultimate freedom. With this kind of transcendental aim, all of our activities become liberating instead of entangling. Lesson: Om is an important sound vibration to understand. So let's have a look at this word, Om. It's the first Bij mantra, Om. This is the Sat Bij, Krishna's divine presence. The Vedas glorify Om as the origin of the Vedas and as the source of the whole creation. For this reason, Om presides every Vedic mantra. Om is a seed mantra. Seed means the beginning. It's like, beginning of the whole tree. You have to have a seed. So beginning of the whole creation is the seed mantra. Om, mentioned throughout the Vedic literatures and chanted by all varieties of transcendentalists. It has also worked its way into many languages to indicate God. So in English, the all-important descriptions of God have Om as its root. Om enters the English language as the prefix omni. Therefore words like omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient are valid descriptions of God. So you can see how important Om is. Even in the English language, the root of all of these conditions of God is Om. Christians end prayer with Amen, which is Om. Muslims say Amen, 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 denoting God. And every breath man utters and repeats it unintentionally and inevitably, every vibration. No. That's Om. When you're breathing like that. And in the universe emerges from Om. A child cries, Om, Om. The ocean roars, Om, Om. The bee buzzes, Om. The musician hums, Om, Om. Everywhere, Om is there. Besides the indication that Om is non-different from the sound of Krishna's flute, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says, Pranava Sarva Vedeshu, I am the syllable Om mentioned in all the Vedas. So Krishna himself is saying, I am the syllable Om. So some people sometimes think Om represents the impersonal form of God. No, no, Om is not impersonal, not in the least. Oh, unfortunately, most people today have an impersonal conception of the sacred syllable Om. The sound of Om in the beginning of every Vedic hymn addresses the Supreme Lord, because the impersonalists are very much afraid of addressing the Supreme Lord Krishna by his innumerable names. They prefer to vibrate the transcendental sound Omkar, but they do not realize that Omkar is a sound representation of Krishna. This is Prabhupada. Due to the widespread influence of impersonal philosophies, most people believe the goal of meditation on Om is to give up one's individual identity and merge with the Supreme Brahman. But look at one of our wonderful Goswamis. On the other hand, Jiva Goswami reveals that Om, besides indicating the Supreme Lord Krishna, also indicates his personal energy, Shrimati Radhika, and his eternal servants, the Jiva Shaktis. So he says, Om is a combination of the letters A, U, M. A refers to Krishna, U refers to Radha, and M refers to us, the Jiva. In reality, the divine syllable, Om, has nothing to do with an impersonal conception. Even Krishna's devotees working under this misconception have developed an aversion to chanting Om. But Om clearly denotes Krishna, as confirmed 3 times in the Bhagavad Gita. Pranava Sarve Dushu, I am the syllable Om mentioned in all the Vedas. Vedyam Pavitram Omkar, I am the object of knowledge, the purified, and syllable Om. And then there's a verse which is 7.8. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of God and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. The meaning of the sound of vibration Omkar is present in the Gayatri mantra, Om Bhurva. The same elaborately explained in the 4 slokas of Srimad Bhagavatam known as Chatur Sloki. The sound vibration Omkar is the root of Vedic knowledge. This Omkar is known as Mahavakya, or the supreme sound. Whatever meaning is in that supreme sound Omkar is further understood in the Gayatri. So we can see Om, such an important word. It's good to have it on the tips of our tongue at all times. Any questions? Any comments? Okay, thank you so much. We can stop there today. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai, chapter 17 Ki Jai. Oh no, recorded it to the wrong place. Okay, no problem. So let's go to the Singha Kavach. We want to pray for the protection of all the devotees. Nani Ben also wanted to pray for Sri Ram.
How is the lady who had the operation? Much better?
Getting better, yeah, slowly, slowly. It takes time because it's quite a tough. She was there yesterday. She was there with us.
Okay, right, yeah.
All right. So, Sitaram Prabhu, are you with us?
Yes, Prabhu, Haribol.
Great. Go for it.
नरसिंहा कवचं वक्षे प्रह्लादिनोदितं पुरा सर्वरक्षकरं पुण्यं सर्वपादवनाशनं सर्वसम्पत्करं चैव स्वर्गमोक्षप्रदायकं यादवनरसिंहं दिवसं हेमसिंहासनस्थितं विवृतस्यं त्रिनयनं शरदिन्दुसमाप्रभुं लक्ष्म्यलिङ्गितवमङ्गं विभूतिविरूपसृतं चतुर्भुजमुखमलङ्गं स्वर्णकुण्डलशोभितं श्रियासुशोभितरस्कं रत्नकैवरमुद्रितं ताप्तकाञ्चन शङ्कसं पीतनिर्मलवससं इन्द्रादिस्वरमलिस्तः स्फुरमणिक्यदीप्तिभिः वीरजितपदद्वां शङ्खचक्रदीहेतिभिः गरुत्माता च विनायत् श्रेयमानं मुदन्वितम् स्वरित्कमलसंवसं कृतवतु कवचमं पतत् नरसिंहमिश्रः पातु लोकरसरतसम्भवः सर्वगोऽपि स्तम्भवसः फलं मे रक्षतु ध्वनिं नरसिंहमिश्रः पातु सोमासुर्याग्निलोचनः स्मृतं मे पतु नरहरि मुनिवर्यस्तुतिप्रियः नासमं सिंहानसस्तु मुखमं लक्ष्मीमुखप्रियः सर्वविद्याधिपः पातु नरसिंहोरसनं मम वक्त्रं पातु बिन्दुवदनं सदा प्रह्लादवन्दितः नरसिंह पातु मे कण्ठं स्कन्धो बुभृदनन्तकृत दिव्यास्त्रशोभितभुजः नरसिंह पातु मे भुजो करुमे देववरदो नरसिंह पातु सर्वतः हृदयं योगी सद्यश्च निवासमं पातु मे हरि माद्यं पतु हिरण्यक्ष वक्ष कुक्षिविदारणः नाभिं मे पतु नरहरि स्वनाभि ब्रह्म संस्तुतः प्रमण्डकुटयः कथयं यस्य सुपतु मे कतिं गुह्यां मे पतु गुह्यानां मन्त्राणां गुह्यारूपरि कुरुमन भव पातु जनूनि नररूपरिक जङ्गे पतु धर भर हरतैव सुनरकेसरी पद्मे नरहरिस्वरः सहस्रशीर्षः पुरुषः पतु मे सर्वसस्तनुं मनुग्रह पुव पातु महावीरागजो अग्नितः महाविष्णुर्दक्षिणेतु महाज्वलस्तु नैऋत्य
We lost Prabhu. Manogra Parat Patu Mana Viragyo Agnita Mahavishnu Dakshinetu Mahajwalastu Nete Paschime Patu Sarvesho Disi Me Sarvatum Mukha Nasima Patu Vyam Saumyam Bhushana Vigraha Ishanyam Patu Bhadro Me Sarva Mangaladayaka Samsara Bhayata Patu Mrityu Mrityundeshari Idam Nasima Kavacham Prahlad Mukham Vanditam Bhaktimam Yapate Nityam Sarva Papapachan Chate Puttavandanamando Ke Dirghayurupajayate Yam Kamayate Kamam Tam Tam Prapnoti Samsayam Sarvatra Jayam Apnoti Sarvatra Vijayi Bhave Bhumiyantariksha Devyana Dhrana Vinivarana Shikoraga Sambhuta Vishapaha Param Brahmaraksha Yakshanam Durutsaranakar Ujevapatalapatreva Kavacham Likitam Shubham Karamule Vidatam Yena Sidya Karma Sidya Devasura Manusesu Swamswam Eva Jayandave Eka Sandhyanti Sandhyamaya Patit Nyato Sarva Mangala Mangalyam Muktim Muktim Chavindati Dvadim Sati Sasrani Patit Sudatmanandaram Kavachasya Mantrasya Mantrasya Deepajayati Ina Mantrarajena Tatra Asmapi Tilakam Vivitya Tarastu Tasya Grahapayat Are Divaram Japamanastu Tatam Varyapi Mantaryam Ushayadyo Naram Mantram Nrsimhadayat Dayana Uchare Tasya Roga Panasyanti Echakukshi Sambhav Matra Bahut Not Tena Nrsimha Shadasho Bhave So chintitam yatu sajata notiyam shamshayam yantam gajayantam nijapuja patalam shopriyantam matan dipyantam tapayantam ditijam shipayantam sipantam grandantam roshayantam disi satatam samharantam barantam Vikshantam Purnayantam Tanikara Satya Divyasimanu Tishiva Manda Prane Paladoktam Shena Simakamacham Sampurnam Shri So over to you, Shamali. Carry on.
Yes, Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya Namaste Jase Avir Bhava Vajra Nakka Vajra Damshra Karma Sayan Randheya Tamo Grasa Om Swaha Abhayam Atmani. Where are we now? Sorry. Atmani Bhuishta Om Shrom Swastiastu Vishwasya Kala Prasidatam Dhyayantu Bhutani Shivamitodya Manas Chabhadram Bhajatad Adoksaje Aveshyayantam No Matirapiya Hetuki Magaradharatmaja Vita Bandushu Sango Yadi Syad Bhagavat Priyeshuna Yat Pranavritya Paritushtatmavan Siddhyati Adura Natatendriya Priya Yat Sangalabdam Nijavirya Vaibhavam Tirtam Muhusam Skrisatam Hi Manasam Haratiyajo Natastutibir Gato Nagajam Kove Nasevata Mukunda Vikramam Yashyasti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana Sarve Gunita Trasam Samasate Sura Dharav Abhaktasya Kutumahadaguna Manoratena Satidha Vato Bahi Harir Hi Sakshat Bhagavan Sarinam Atma Jasanam Jivatoya Vipshitam Hitva Mahamtam Yadi Sajati Grihe Tada Mahamvan Vayasadam Patinam Dashma Rajorag Visada Manyu Manas Prihabhaya Dhenyadi Moolam Hitva Griham Samsriti Chakravalam Narshim Hapadam Bhajata Kuto Bhayam Iti Ukram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukam Narsimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namami Aham.
You can carry on if you like.
Okay, Prabhu. Shri Narsimha Jai Narsimha Jaya Jaya Narsimha Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa Shri Narsimha Jai Narsimha Jaya Jaya Narsimha Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa Shri Narsimha Jai Narsimha Jaya Jaya Narsimha Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa. All glories to the Shimhadev, all glories to the Shimhadev, the Lord of Prahlad. All glories to you who are like a honeybee, always hovering above the lotus face of Sri. Namaste Narashimhaya Pralada Lada Dahide Hiranyakashi Puravaksa Silatana Kana Kalaye Ito Nashimo Parato Nashimo Yato Yato Yami Tato Nashimo Bahi Nashimo Hidayi Nashimo Narashim Hamadim Saranam Prapadai Tavakara Kamalavadi Nakama Buddha Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashiputa Nubrigam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari Jayo Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Om Shri Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki Jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai, Krishna Balaram ki Jai, Prabhupada ki Jai, Gurudev ki Jai, all assembled devotees ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
So let's chant one round. Tomorrow we'll do the 18th chapter, which is the last chapter. Might take 2 sessions because it's quite a long chapter. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna. Very nice chanting. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So,
Hare Krishna, devotees and Prabhuji. See you tomorrow.
Hare Krishna, all devotees.
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Sitaram, are you able to unmute?
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu, Haribol.
Hare Krishna, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay, Prabhu. And
Your
you?
internet was a little tricky, huh, today?
Yes, Prabhu. So, what about the Lakshmi you have asked me, Prabhu?
Oh, yes. So let me just do one thing first. Let me just- Okay. So basically, sorry about that. So what yeah, the idea is, because we need to understand in Kalkidam what's actually happening. Nobody's revealing anything. So I just wanted to meet with the devotees. What are our expectations? Like before
Yes.
we write to them again. I
Yes.
just because we get no answers from them. And over the
Oh.
years, we put a lot of Lakshmi in there, like £500,000. I have put personally over 25 years. So
Oh.
I want to really understand how they are operating, what accounts they're doing, what is the land property, so much land they have, you know. So I don't want it to be lost, because when Tamal dies, his girls may not be able to continue the project. And then what will happen? You know, we need to have a plan.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is why I was asking if it's possible for you to attend, and just, you know, like if anything, because you've been there, you know what it's like. So you can give an idea, maybe, you know, like just see what you think, you know. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. When the meeting will be?
On Sunday, your time will be 6:30 at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
6:30.
On Sunday.
Okay, we try to join.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Prabhu.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Haribol. Yes. Okay, Haribol.